What is going on, guys? Not Timmy here today, and today we are going to be talking about the new update featuring glider redeploy. Glider redeploy used to be a mechanic in the game early into Season 6, which was available to any player. You could jump and redeploy your glider anywhere from the map as long as you were above, like, I think it was 1 story high, and that was eventually removed from the game, and now it has been added back as an item. So today we're going to go over that as well as some other gameplay changes and some weapon changes as well. So let's get right into it, guys. Alright, so the first thing that we have for weapons is the brand new scoped revolver. It comes in an epic and legendary variants, and it does 42 and 44 base damage. It is found as floor loot, chest, supply drop, and vending machines. I haven't gotten to use it much. I've seen some clips of it. It looks pretty nice. It's nothing that I would personally use in my gameplay, but it can definitely substitute for a sniper. It has some range to it from what I've seen. The next thing we have is the minigun. Some changes to it. It will now overheat after 6 continuous seconds of fire. That continuous is very important. If the player that is using it shoots and stops and starts again, it will not have the cooldown time because it's not 6 seconds of continuous fire. I actually ran into a player on my first game on today that was shooting it, and I waited and I thought he had a cooldown time, but he actually didn't have the cooldown time because he tap fired the minigun. So be careful for that if you're facing somebody that is using the minigun on you now. It has a reduced wind-up time of 37%, so that means it will wind up faster when it when you're going to shoot somebody with it. So also be cautious of that. If you hear it winding up, it will start shooting at you faster than before, so expect to be shot a little sooner. And the minigun also does have new audio to it, so it might sound a little bit different. Caught me off guard at first, but not too big of a change. You'll get used to it after hearing it the first time. We have balloons and stink bombs. They are now a blue rarity. Not much of a change at all, just a change in rarity. They act exactly the same. Scope they are is now found in green and blue instead of blue and purple. Does the same exact damage for both of them. Now we have the snipers. The snipers have probably the biggest change in terms of the weapons. Every sniper will now act like the heavy sniper. The bullet drop on the bolt, the suppressed bolt, and the hunting rifle will now all act the same way as the heavy sniper. Slightly different drop than before, but again, if you were used to the heavy sniper, you won't really have too much of a problem adjusting to that change. So now in terms of weapons still, the only other change is with zip lines. You will now get first shot accuracy while using a zip line. That is a big change. That is a huge advantage for anybody who is using the zip line, whereas before you might not have been able to hit many shots while you're riding the zip line up because you weren't getting that first shot accuracy. So now people who are using a zip line can be a lot more deadly, and you need to watch out for them even more than before because they will receive that first shot accuracy. And also Icy Feet gets the first shot accuracy. Not as big of a deal as the zip lines. You don't really see too many players that are Icy Feet, but if you happen to be out by the new Greasy Grove area, that is a pretty good change for you if you got some Icy Feet. So now for our utilities slot, where our traps, our cozies, our launch pads, and our turrets go, there is an increased spawn chance of all of those except for the turret. A launch pad, a cozy, and spike traps now have an increased spawn chance, and the turret has a slightly decreased spawn chance, which is good in my opinion. I was never a big fan of the turret, so at least they're doing a little bit to counteract to it, but not much. So that's about all for the weapons changes. So now we're going to get into the gameplay side, which is the big part of this video. So now with the gameplay, to pick back up on what I just mentioned with the zip lines, how you receive the first shot accuracy, there's also another change with the zip lines. You can change your direction on the zip line without having to jump. It says the direction can be changed via the player movement input button. So all you have to do is push your right stick, whatever direction you want to go. If you're on console, push your right stick and it will change the direction of you on the zip line. Another change, when you start on the zip line, you don't initially start out going as fast as you did before. You have to pick up your momentum, which will then get you to full speed. And they also have mentioned that they fixed issues with the zip line that would cause you to be flung off or keep riding it. Like if you happen to jump off, you'll get reattached if you have a poor connection, things along that line. So the zip lines should be a little better overall than they were in the previous updates. Um, in terms of vehicles with this update, the vehicle impact now hurts shields instead of going directly to health. The plane explosion damage also hurts shields instead of going directly to health. And the passengers on the plane also have to hold the button to exit, not just the driver. The passengers will have to hold the button as well. Not very big of a change, but it's something that could make a difference in a split-second situation if you aren't aware of it. They also mentioned that they fixed the issue where your glider would not redeploy while jumping off of a plane. I cannot tell you how many times that's gotten me killed. Very frustrating. Glad that it's finally fixed. So that's about all I have for the vehicles and the zip lines on the gameplay. So now the big change that everyone had been waiting for in terms of gameplay, editing sensitivity. Your editing sensitivity now follows your build sensitivity instead of your gun sensitivity. However, there is no separate option to disable that or change the multiplier of the sensitivity. You have to use your build sensitivity. You don't have a choice. So if your build sensitivity is maxed out, you're going to have a little bit of a rough time to start off at first because it's going to be a way faster edit than you're used to, but you can adjust. So hopefully in the future, in the next update coming, they add the option to either disable it or change the multiplier to have it be separate from your build so that it doesn't have to be much faster. You can make it your own custom speed, what you're comfortable with, or you can keep it as your build sense. Whatever fits your playing style is what you should do, but having the option to have a separate, like custom edit sensitivity would be great. I myself am happy with the build sense being my edit sensitivity, but there might be players out there that don't quite like it, and hopefully they release a fix for that. I also wanted to mention mini shields for just a quick second. The maximum capacity has been reduced from 10 to 6, so I feel like mini shields are not going to be as effective. I would definitely take a stack of 3 big shields over 6 minis, unless I can hold 2 stacks of minis as you see here. So lastly, I would like to talk about the glider redeploy item. The glider redeploy is a blue or a rare item, and it comes with 10 charges per item. Each redeploy uses 1 charge, and the item can be found in floor loot, chests, vending machines, and only supply llamas, not supply drops. Personally, I love the glider redeploy. It is much better than balloons, grapplers. I can't compare it to a Rift to Go. They're kind of different. Rift can get you really far. But in terms of the balloons and the grapplers, I would take the glider redeploy all day. If you have the glider and your opponent does not, you can control the fight. You have every advantage. He can't go anywhere on you. You can always chase, and it also eliminates any possibility of you getting fall damage. As a lot of you probably know, when glider redeploy was available for everyone, nobody really died to fall damage because you could instantly redeploy. So having that glider, you can deploy no matter what weapon you're on. You don't have to switch to a balloon and deploy the balloon. You don't have to worry about having to attach something to with the grappler. You can instantly redeploy and not take fall damage. I think it's a great item, and every good player should be using the glider redeploy in their inventory. I know I will always make a slot for it. So to sum everything up, we got the scoped revolver, haven't tried it much, changed to the miniguns, snipers now act like the heavy sniper, we have our editing sensitivity and our glider redeploy. Overall, I think it was a great update, and I hope you guys think the same too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. I'm out.